Hello there. Welcome to Just the Discs. My name is Brian. We talk about Blu-rays here, and today we are coming back to a label I have talked about on this channel before, and that is Gold Ninja Video. They are a Canadian-based label run by one gentleman, a fellow by the name of Justin Decloux, who I'm a big fan of, and who is one part of the Important Cinema Club podcast, which is a show that I very much enjoy. He and Will Sloan make up the duo of that show, and Justin is also part of a lot of other podcasts. But he is a really hardworking guy, as evidenced by these two releases that I'm going to talk about in today's video. We'll start with The Iron Dragon Strikes Back from 1979. This is a Bruce Lee film, not Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, also known as The Gold Connection. And in the case of this release, Justin has a little intro on this disc. There's a lot of features on this disc, actually. But he talks about in the intro that he found and scanned a print of this film, which is pretty rare. And it's, he makes a point to say it's not like mint condition. It's not restored from the original camera negative or anything like that. This is a loved print. This is a movie print that has seen its share of viewings. And to be honest, it doesn't bother me. It feels right for this kind of presentation. It is a 2.35:1 widescreen master, and it is available in an English dub version as well as Mandarin with English subtitles version. And the plot of the movie is basically that a martial arts teacher played by Bruce Lee and his buddies discover a stash of Vietnamese gold while scuba diving one day, and initially they say, I think he says, we should put this back. We shouldn't keep this money. And then soon after that, slight spoiler, one of them actually goes back and gets the gold, and then the gang who stole and stashed the gold come after them sort of one at a time. And what starts as sort of a light buddy film gets, a bit darker. But it is really impressive in terms of the kung fu and the action choreography. I really enjoyed that about it. And I haven't seen a lot of Bruce Lee films. I've heard him talked of by Quentin Tarantino and others. And it's just been a matter of me not really digging in myself. But this is definitely a good way to dig in, I think. It's a rare instance where Bruce Lee worked with an honest-to-goodness auteur, Ki Hung, director of masterpieces like The Boxer's Omen and Killer Constable. But it's a very enjoyable film, very enjoyable action film, downbeat. But as you can see here, there are a lot of special features, including a bonus movie on this disc. And I just want to talk about, again, the care that Justin is taking when putting these out and the amount of special features he's loading them with. Sometimes it's just him. Sometimes, in this case, it's Justin and Will Sloan from the Important Cinema Club talking about things, but they really do put in a lot of work here. I'm trying to think of what the first, I think the best of the Bruces, a conversation about Bruce Lee, is a really great 14-minute Justin and Will talking about Bruce Lee, and it opens with Justin saying Bruce Lee is better than Bruce Lee, and they talk about Bruce Lee's career and the many sort of Bruce Lee ripoffs that he did, like Bruce Lee the Man, the Myth, one of several, I guess, biopics he did. There's a great history lesson of Bruce Lee stuff in the special features for this disc. They talk about Soul Brothers of Kung Fu and Chinese Stuntman, as they offer like a bunch of recommendations for Bruce Lee movies. And if you're like me, as I said, if you haven't seen a lot of Bruce Lee, there's tons to take away from this whole discussion. And the featurette is also fun because it's Justin and Will standing in front of what I think is Justin's Blu-ray and DVD collection, or at least one wall of it. And once you finish the interview, it's fun to go back and look at the discs on the wall behind them. If you're a collector like me, you're like, what has he got here? Oh, look at that. So that kind of stuff is fun for me. I should mention that Justin and Will have an introduction and a commentary track, and the commentary track is even more in depth than the conversation about Bruce Lee, and it gives lots of background about him and his other films, and how this is one of the films that's sort of him trying to break away from the Bruce Lee ripoffs of his career, but how American distributors would even nonetheless still try and sell it that way. They talk about director Koichi Hung, and it's just a great overview of and conversational. I mean, again, part of the reason I like the Important Cinema Club is I love the way that Justin and Will sort of play off each other and the way they have conversations, and this is just an extended version of that in a very informative commentary track. So I really enjoyed it. Okay, so then there's another featurette called All the Rules Must Be Broken, the films of Koichi Hung, and that's 8 minutes, and that's just Justin going through the career of the director of this film. So you get a lot of, again, more recommendations, lots of things to watch. There are deleted and alternate scenes that Justin introduces, and then there's about 2.5 minute introduction, then we have about 22.5 minutes worth of deleted scenes, and they are from a Mandarin print. Some of them are partially in black and white, some a little rough, but you get to see a whole bunch of, like deleted scenes, 22.5 minutes worth. So that's a lot of stuff. Is Bruce Lee in this? A video exploration. This is another featurette. It's about 17 minutes. Justin and Will talk about a bunch of films that are purported to have Bruce Lee in them, based on the Blu-ray and DVD covers that they have. They've brought out their own collection of stuff they've gotten from boutique labels, sometimes, sort of flea market-y stuff, but it's pretty cool that they go through this bunch of movies. Again, just more Kung Fu film recommendations for me, and I was really into it. So there's an alternate title sequence, and then there's a bonus feature, the Llama Avenger, aka the Three Avengers from 1979, with an intro from Justin, 2 minutes, and he says he picks another Bruce Lee film to go with the main feature, so it's kind of like a double bill, and so that's super cool. You get a whole other feature on this disc. So again, really packed, full of stuff, and great for Kung Fu fans if you haven't seen a lot of Bruce Lee, or even if you have. Maybe this is one you've always wanted. So it's The Iron Dragon Strikes Back. And then secondly, we have an independent film called Duel on the River. Now, this one, I want to say it was made during the pandemic. I just can't remember if it's 2021 or 2020, but I think it's 2021. And it is shot on video. It is directed by Isaac Rathe. I think that's how you say his name. And it stars his brother and some friends of theirs. And it's definitely lower budget, but it's impressive. It's got a good sort of pace to it. It's about a guy who at the beginning of the film gets dumped by his girlfriend, and then through sort of happenstance ends up getting a kayak and taking it out on the river, and then sort of running afoul of this maniac, this guy who's terrorizing innocent people on the river, and it becomes this duel on the river. And it's definitely, inspired by Spielberg. In fact, the main character wears a Temple of Doom shirt, which I think is pretty great. But it's pretty neat how it plays out. There's like a sort of wise old guy, kayak man, that the young protagonist encounters, and he has to figure out how to get back to the shore once he's gone way out on the river to this like remote island, and he's sort of trapped out there. And it really does become this battle of wills, and there's some things revealed about what this guy's done, and it gets pretty dark. But it is a fascinating little movie made for about $2,000, I think, really cheaply made. And again, for the budget and, what we're talking about here, this is a really solid little, independent, micro-budgeted film. And I did enjoy it. Very DIY. and it has comedy, it has, fun dialogue, charismatic characters, and it's just fun. And I definitely would not have heard about this one if not for this release. It has a commentary with director Isaac Rathé and Justin Decloux talking about the making of the film, and then there's an actual making of with Isaac and his brother and the cast. I think the DP, I can't remember if the DP's in that too, but it is a nice little making of that is included on the disc as well. And we also get an interview with the composer and then another short film by the filmmaker called Bunny. So this one, definitely check out the trailer. It's one of those where I was just like, wow, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by this film. And again, it's shot on video, so it looks like that. But it's from 2021. There you go. But yeah, a nice little, like I said, micro budget indie, and very cool that Gold Ninja is, supporting smaller filmmakers like this with releases that they probably wouldn't otherwise get, and attention that this film might not otherwise get. So very cool, and a big thumbs up on both of these releases from Gold Ninja Video. Keep an eye on goldninjavideo.com for some very exciting upcoming releases. They have, I want to say, Thrilling Bloody Sword, which was a big hit previously for them, is coming out again in a version with another sort of film of that ilk called Revengeful Swordsman. There's currently a double pack for pre-order, and you can also get Revengeful Swordsman by itself, and that looks really fun. There's like a skull rocket GIF that I saw Justin posting, and I was just like, okay, yeah, no, I got to see that. So more stuff to come from them, but definitely keep an eye on their website and check out their back catalog, which I will leave a link to below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.